New books! Yay! Hello everybody, my name is Lucy and welcome to Books and Brushes. So, little catch up in case you're not up with the times, but I got really ill recently. My last video you saw I pre-filmed like way before my birthday, and as you could tell my voice was going. Now actually when that video was uploaded on my birthday, I was at death's door. Like, I was so ill. I don't get ill. I'm not the person who gets ill. And when I am ill, I just go to work and I carry on and I power through like a warrior. I was just a useless wreck, couldn't go to work, couldn't do anything, which was incredibly frustrating. And yeah, so I had a pretty crappy birthday. It wasn't the best, but my birthday's done now, I'm getting better, I'm back at work, everything's fine. I had some money and some birthday. I earned these birthday books, I earned them. So here is my birthday book haul. Yay! So book number one is the only actual book I got given for my birthday, and that is Roots by Alex Haley. My dad gave me this book. He said that he read it years and years and years ago and that it always just stuck with him. So he went into Waterstones and found it again so that he could give it to me for my birthday. And he wants to read it, so it's basically a present he wanted. But I have it. I don't know too much about this book, I just know that it's about like this boy who was a slave or something and he's like doing this journey to go back home or something. I'm really sketchy on the details for this book. But either way, I don't know when I'll get to this. It is a massive brick, like seriously. And the font is really weird. It's like small and bold. Yeah, I have no idea when I get to this, but I have it on my shelf whenever I want to read something kind of historical, something really deep and meaningful. I have this book, so there it is. Next up, I have the books I bought in Waterstones with a gift card and some birthday money. And let's get to those books. First up, I have a book that's a sequel to a book I already have on my shelf, and that is This Cool Design by Emily Savada. Now I have This Mortal Coil by Emily Savada. I really did love that book. It was weird and really sciencey, but it was different and interesting. And now I have the sequel. These covers seriously are beautiful. Look at these edges! The other one had the DNA, but this one's like all the DNA is broken up. The design and styling for this is gorgeous. Just love this blue, whatever it is on the front. It's so pretty. I don't know when I get to this. I don't know if I'll reread This Mortal Coil. I remember a lot of it, but we'll just have to see on that one. Hopefully I will get to this sequel and enjoy it as much as I like the first one. Next up, I have a more adult book, which is The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. Now, again, I love red edges. I love any coloured edges, to be fair. Like, I'm a sucker for the edges. They're just pretty, what can I say? Now, although this is an adult book, it has been circling so much on BookTube, and I've heard so many things. There are two books right now with the name Evelyn in it and the word seven, so like, confusing much. There's one like The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I think it is, and this one's The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. So like really similar titles. So this one is, I didn't know anything about, like I'd heard it so much on BookTube and yet did not know the synopsis at all. So while I was in Waterstones, I checked the back and it's a very tried and tested kind of plot line. It's nothing I've never heard of, in fact it's something that's been done before. It's the whole someone dies and then they must like relive the day again and again until they solve their murderer kind of plot. In this one, Evelyn, obviously, she dies at a party and one of the guests of the party is determined to solve her murder and prevent it because the day keeps being repeated and every day he wakes up as a different guest and he has to try and figure it out and he has to go through it again and again until he solves and prevents Evelyn's murder. It's a plot I've seen before, but I've never really read a book about it. I've seen the plot before, I've never really delved into a story with it, and I'm just interested in that concept and this take on that concept, and I like that it's an adult book and I'm really looking forward to seeing what it does. And yeah, I wasn't anticipating to buy this book, kind of knew about it but it wasn't really on my radar of want books, but that's the thing when I go into Waterstones, I just peruse all the books and there's just so many possibilities and you can just do whatever you want, and like I have book lists that go totally out the window, and I just buy whatever I want to buy, and this was one of those books, and I'm really glad to have it. So next up we have a book that was circling around BookTube a lot, especially because of Booksplosion. So I'm a big fan of Booksplosion. I don't really talk about the booktubers I watch. I think I'm going to do a video on that soon. If you're interested in that, let me know. Booksplosion is a group of 3 booktubers who I absolutely love. That's Jessie, Christine and Kat. All 3 amazing booktubers, and their Booksplosion group has a book every month, and I haven't really joined in on Booksplosion before. I've just never been able to keep up like with all the books they do. I've watched a few of their like live chat discussions and they're really cool, but I'd like to watch more because they're just really fun, and you know, I want to get involved in that kind of thing. But I'm not purposely going to buy books that they're doing for their month. But this time they are promoting a book called The Shadow of the Fox, and I thought it sounded cool, interesting, weird, but then I saw it in Waterstones. Now, this cover is really gorgeous, but it's totally unlike the covers I've seen on BookTube so far. I'm guessing this is the UK versus the US thing again. The US cover is like red and black, it's got like a fox on it, and it's very kind of dark and mysterious. This one, obviously, totally different. Light colours, it's got like this really pretty turquoise and the katanas, and like this yellow. It's really pretty, totally different vibe, but you know, that's what they do. And anyway, I saw it and I read the back and it just intrigued me all over again. I thought, you know what, this is something different, this is something new. This is something I could really get behind. I love the whole Japanese and any kind of Oriental mythology and folklore. There's like a whole world I've not dived into, and I just find it all so interesting. And this has so much potential to go in such an interesting direction. So I saw it and I wanted it, and I thought, oh, if I get this book, I can join in and watch that live show discussion that they have. And I'm like, yes. So that was like a big plus to getting this book, but I bought it because the synopsis just had me in the whole concept and idea of this, and I really, really hope it lives up and it's mysterious and intriguing, and because that's what I want. And the last book I bought in Waterstones was a book that I heard about a lot from when the whole BookCon and all that happened, and now it's out, full-fledged paperback, and I have it here. A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahereh Mafi. Now, as you know, I have a Tahereh Mafi signed book. My first ever book signing was with Tahereh Mafi, so that kind of has a special place in my heart. And this is her like first real contemporary. Now, I wasn't like dying for this book, but just something about Tahereh Mafi's, like, there's this one page right at the front of this book where Tahereh Mafi goes into how this is not a life story, it's not true, but it is like an amalgamation of all her experiences and feelings of being a Muslim girl after 9/11, and that's powerful for a start. I don't read too many books like this, I don't read too many contemporaries, I still haven't, you know, The Hate U Give, have not jumped on that train yet. I thought now is the time to kind of pick up books like that and get into this, and I don't know, there was just something so endearing about this that I just wanted to know what it was about, and I wanted to be moved by it, and I hope that, and I really think that Tahereh Mafi can deliver this with just such grace. And I'm not really making sense, but sometimes when you buy books, the decision making, it's hard to explain. Like, sometimes you just want a book, you feel a book, you can't really pinpoint why. And this is a contemporary that I hope to get to. It's really quite short, so I could breeze through this, which is nice because I got a lot of bricks. So it's nice to have a few short options, and that is the last book I got from Waterstones. There was also a book I started reading in Waterstones which I didn't buy, and I'm kind of regretting that now because it was really cool. I got a few chapters in, it was really intriguing. I might just go buy it online, and I'll talk about that maybe in another video. It's called The Girl in the Window, and it was just really interesting, and it was like about this girl who's like really ill, very everything, never leaves her house, and she witnesses an abduction out of her window, and like no one else sees it. She's like the only witness to this, and there's no one missing. Like, she's like, did I imagine that? I definitely saw it. And then there's this other girl across the street in a window, and she finds out that girl doesn't exist. There's like a ghost, and she's like trying to figure that out, and it's like mysterious, and just I kept turning the pages. I was just kept wanting to know what happened. So I'm gonna have to read that book. I'm gonna have to buy it because now I want to know what happened. Like every chapter I got more questions, and it was just really intriguing. One of those books that just sucks you in. So I'm probably gonna have to buy that at some point. Now let's get to the backs. This is all the books that I bought after I got home from Waterstones and I had more money to burn because birthday money means books. And so I went online and bought a bunch on Amazon. So this is my first ever YouTuber unboxing, historical moment. I'm doing that thing where I have to check that you can't see my address because, you know, I'm noob at this. I'm not expert in the whole blurring and the editorial stuff. So I do not want to have to do that in post. So let's hope I didn't, you know, completely show you the label. This is the point where you see I can't open a box. Like usually they have like a tear bit, but no, they just want to make me look like an idiot. So oh, there we go. Ah yes. You can't even see the box, so it's just me making facial expressions. Bizarre ones. Oof. It's one of those ones with a split down the middle, but there she blows, there she blows. Well, that was more struggles than I anticipated. Backs. So first up, this is a mysterious book that is, I'm not going to show you. Oh, mysterious. Do you remember my last video on the book haul where I talked about having a book that I didn't want to share yet because I've got this kind of secret project in AIM and I didn't quite want to delve into it for personal reasons? I have another one of those books, so not going to reveal that one just yet. Mysterious. Oh, and the rest of these are hardcover. Look at me, the paperback girl having hardcovers. Oh, they're heavy. So first up of the three, well, there was 4 books in that. One was the paperback, which I'm not going to show you. Rest are hardcovers. This is the first one, and it is Vox, Christina Dulce. Now, I can barely remember what this book is about now. I remember being really interested in it in a really long time, and just, I can't remember why, but I trusted and believed in why I wanted this book, and I just got it. That's all I have for you, I'm afraid. Even this tagline, silence can be deafening, I think this could be a really interesting book about free speech, and I'm just interested in that kind of thing, you know, silence versus speech, because I talk a lot. And I just think this is going to be a really cool dystopian about that kind of idea and theme. Okay, so I just reread the synopsis inside and I'm just re-excited all over again, and I remember exactly why I wanted this book. It's about, basically these girls only have a certain word limit a day, and once they exceed that word limit they get like electrocuted, and it's about the oppression, and this government is like, nope, all these girls, and suddenly everything goes to crap and all the women are basically super oppressed, and it just sounds incredibly dark and super dystopian. Just that 100-word limit of, like, I find that idea crazy, and I think this book could be done so well and super interesting. Like, I could feel this could be a new favourite. Like, that synopsis I have so much hope for, and I really hope it doesn't let me down. Next up, I have a sequel, and it's a pretty hyped sequel on BookTube. I'm pretty sure you heard of this one. Map of Days by Ransom Briggs. Now, I'm super excited to hear that the Miss Peregrine's trilogy world was being expanded. I can totally see that there would be more to explore in this world, and I'm just so happy to have another book. I loved that series, and I am down for the extension. I think I might have to do a reread though. I only read those books once and I loved them, and I think it would be fun just to reread the whole trilogy and then go on to Map of Days. The only problem with that is it might take me a while to get to. Obviously that's a trilogy plus this. 4 books is a lot of time. That's like a whole month of my reading just eclipsed. So, you know, rereading for a whole month almost, that's quite a lot of commitment, but I really want to get to this. The pictures in here are coloured instead of black and white. It always fascinates me how he can like create a story out of pre-existing photos. Like, are you magic, Ransom? Are you really like, how? I don't know how he does it, but I can't see this book being bad. I just can't. So super excited, and I hope I get to it real soon. And we are on to our last book for now. I probably will buy loads more books because I don't know, like, I haven't been reading, and yet I'm buying books. I am like a real booktuber, guys. I haven't mentioned this yet, but I have been sucking in a reading slump right now. Yeah, when I got ill, just haven't read. And that's really bad and makes me really sad. I'm rhyming, aren't I? But anyway, I just have to get back on the books. Now I'm better. I just have to get reading again, and I'm super excited to do that. I hadn't read a single book for a whole month. Yeah, that's how bad it got. Like, usually I read like 4 to 6 books in a month. Didn't read one, although I did read fan fiction. But that doesn't count, does it? Anyway, tangent. The last book I have is also a sequel, and that is Wondersmith, The Call of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. Now, if you've been on this channel before, you know I have the first book, which is Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow. I absolutely loved that book. It was just beautifully done. It's a middle grade, and it's magical and whimsical, and it's about this girl trying to find herself a life that she never thought she could have. Oh, so Harry Potter vibes. I know that's a big statement, but it is. It's totally unique and original in its story, and I loved it. So I had to get this one. Now I knew that it'd come out. I think I read Nevermore about this time last year, which is kind of weird. So Wondersmith, I'm thinking this would be a great read for like Christmas, because it does give you that magical, childlike wonder. So that sounds like a great Christmassy kind of read to me. This book is so, not only is it beautiful on the inside, but the first Morrigan book was just so beautiful. The naked book is absolutely stunning, so I can't wait to see what the naked book looks like here. I mean, not as beautiful as the first one. The first one was just so gorgeous, but still, like, look at that. Yes. I'm so glad they've continued on, like, the beautiful naked covers and everything. It matches my first book perfectly. I absolutely love it. Like, with these books, it's worth going hardcover just for the aesthetic alone. I would never buy paperback of this now that I have these amazing hardcover editions. Like, design point 100. I think I'll be getting to this book really soon, like I said, because it is such a whimsical, magical book. I can get to read it for Christmas, and I have a feeling I'll be getting to this before the end of the year. I hope so, and you'll be able to see that soon and know what I think. And I don't know if there's another one. So many questions, and I can't wait. So I hauled 9 books in this, including one you didn't see. So you saw 8 of those books, and yeah, I'm really excited just to have a whole bunch of new books. It's getting to that point where with my shelves, I'm like getting a little bit, how do I organise them? Because my organisation is perfect, like I have the genres on the shelf, but now I've got too many books, so I'm going to have to start like changing the order. I'm going to have to do a reorganisation. I'll probably make a video on that because, you know, might as well. It'll probably be really interesting to see how I reorder it. Thank you so much for watching my haul and sticking with me even when I'm, you know, ill and sad. Thanks so much for watching. I love you all. Please like and comment, because I want to make friends with you guys. I want a community. I want book friends, and I want to know that I'm not shouting into the abyss, you know? You know what I mean? Hope you haven't been ill this November and have read way more books than me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.